Total Recall. That's one of my favorite action movies ever. And I will always low-key say that the original Total Recall is actually kind of better than the new one. The new one was alright, but they tried too hard to make it, like, have a story. They tried way too hard.
That shit was garbage.
Yeah, and the new one, or the original one was like...
It was ass.
The original one was like, it had... Again, it was enough story to justify the explosion. And that was perfect. Yeah. Like, I love Total Recall. You know what I mean? The original. But...
Well, the first thing that turned me off, that shit was PG-13.
What, the new one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a problem.
Yeah, but they still had the triple titty scene, and that's what matters.
I didn't see that
You just
shit.
want to see them tits?
I mean, that's a lot of us wanted to see that.
Yeah, honestly, when you saw
the version that I saw, she walked up to that nigga and her back was to the camera. She showed him the titties. He was like, "Nah," and then he left, and that was it.
No, yeah, I think that's actually how the scene goes. Yeah, I think that's the scene. Yeah,
but you can't.
But in the original movie, you see the actual titties. Yeah, you see the titties.
We wanted to see that shit.
Yeah. But like,
we don't want to see a nigga.
But no, that's the thing though. With a lot of remakes, and Adrian, you gotta admit too, with a lot of remakes, but no,
so terrible.
No, he's right, because with a lot of remakes,
that was like one of the best fucking. That movie has a lot of staples, but the triple titty bitch, bro, and they actually showed
honestly,
the bitches titties.
That was
like one of the hottest shits about that fucking movie.
With a lot of remakes,
see that shit.
With a lot of remakes of original really good movies, when they say they're remaking it, you immediately picture that scene in your head and say, I hope they get that scene right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Normally they fuck it up.
I was personally really upset with the remake of Evil Dead because they got the tree rape scene horribly like PG. And I know that sounds really bad, and I'm sorry to say that I wanted to see rape done right. Please don't butcher me. But that is one of the most iconic scenes in the original Evil Dead. Yeah. Is when the chick got raped by the tree. That was like, holy shit. And then in this new one, it was basically the same thing. It shows the back of the tree, and you hear some moaning and some screaming, and that's basically it.
I had even watched the original Evil Dead, and then I watched that shit, and I was like, the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Who did I watch it with? Like, I think I watched it with you.
I think we watched it together. It was ass. It was
complete ass.
And honestly, it was like, how are you not better than the original Evil Dead? All that movie was fucking blood splattering. That's really all that movie was. Like, that movie was not a serious ass action movie or even horror movie remotely. How are you worse than that?
They took that shit and completely changed it to a fucking...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a kind of serious horror movie instead of like the comical one, like the fucking original one.
Yeah, exactly. They tried to make it serious, but then failed at making it serious.
And then it was like even worse.
Because I'm not gonna lie, Evil Dead has the potential to be an actual very terrifying horror movie. It has the potential. It just has to be done right. Mm-hmm. And it was like what they did with the remake. It was like, what?
It was like, word? This is what you guys...
But just copy and paste that shit.
Right?
That's all we want to see.
Like, honestly, real talk, that's like, I'm not even gonna lie about that. A lot of remakes,
they're trying to switch it up,
and it's like, don't.
It's bad.
Literally, just give me the exact same movie with better CG.
Honestly,
just make it better.
That's it.
Better actors.
Yeah, that's it. Give me today's action hero instead of that action hero from 30 years ago.
I think companies need to hear that specific statement.
Yeah, well, I'll say that's not true for every remake. Yeah, for a large amount,
for a good amount of them. But I think they need to hear that.
That's all they need to do.
Because a lot of the time they're like, I mean, I would talk hella shit if a studio came out with literally copy and pasted movie because it's like, bro, you just copy and
you didn't even try.
Shit.
Yeah.
At the same time though, I would be happy because they didn't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Like it was the same shit.
Yeah. Well, so like an example is what was it? There was another one. There's another remake where the remake was actually really good, and they almost changed because it actually wasn't a remake. We found out it's actually a sequel. Oh. If you actually watched it, it was actually technically a sequel.
Oh, I thought you were talking about The Thing for a second. I always bring that shit up if we talk about remakes because that shit was so fucking fire. Nigga. Ooh, shit.
No, I agree with you.
My girl to watch
I agree with you, but I'm a guy that
it was a remake, but it was a prequel. Fire,
I'm a guy that comes from the OG thing, like the black and white thing.
Oh yeah, you told me about.
And there's no
Every
movie that
talk about this shit,
there's none of the remakes did the jump scare of the thing better than the black and white one. I bring this up every time where the entire movie, it does a very specific camera angle whenever they open and close doors, right? But the thing is never there. Even when like they're being chased and they're scared and they're running, it's never there. So you build like a subconscious like wall, like okay, doors are fine, but it's subconscious, so you don't realize like doors are fine. It's subconscious. And then one scene at the end of the movie, dude casually opens a door, the monster is literally in the doorway. One That's fucking like, and it was fucking terrifying. Like it was terrifying.
Like it feels like that's such an old school technique that I don't even see it anymore, but it's so fucking powerful.
It's so powerful because like the reason it works is because the entire movie I built up in your mind, this is safe.
Yeah,
and then I ripped that safety away from you.
Who no?
I think there was like one of the Insidious did it or something.
I think it was like
not with the doorway, but there was another like ghost movie where they did a situation
something like that.
Yeah, they did something like that, and it was like,
whenever you watch a horror movie today, they always have to have that last jump scare, and it's always garbage. Because they never do anything like that.
And it's like literally that's all you have to do is make me mentally believe this is safe, and the easiest way to do that is just to repeat the same scene. Like I said, in the original thing, it's different doors, obviously, but it's like this very like angle, like it's like slightly angled camera angle where it's like it shows like the person's like left shoulder or something, and you see them like open the door, and you can see through the doorway into the next room.
Normally it's fine.
And every time in the movie, it's perfectly fine. And then one fucking time, monster's right there, dude dies. That like it will make you shit yourself.
I don't like. I've never seen the black and white one, so we all gotta see.
And again, I will say the what was it like 2005 or 2008 remake? It was great.
Yeah,
but it just didn't have that one thing. That one like they don't even have to do the doorway. They could have did any other like mental concept scene. But they just didn't do that, and that was the one weakness. I was like, I wish I saw.
That's how.
Well, the one after that it came out of like the 80s or
it was with Hasselhoff, right?
No, wasn't there. You always say that shit, but it was like Kurt Russell or something.
Okay, Kurt Russell, yeah. And the prequel is a prequel to that one, right? It's not connected to the 80s or to the black and white one. I think it's a prequel to the 80s one. Yeah, to the 80s one. Yeah, because I think this movie. Fire. This movie ends with the dog running off, and that one starts with the dog running up.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'm kind of like that. Fire. I'm like that with, and it's not. It's like obviously not a popular opinion, but like the first Paranormal Activity versus all the other ones. The first one actually fucked me up.
Wait, I think that was the movie that does.
The first one fucked me up bad.
I think that's the movie that because like where it builds up a specific mental concept where it's like that's
because the whole thing is her.
I mean, it wasn't really a safe thing. It was just like every time they would have something happen, like every time some paranormal activity would happen. It was like it was subtle in the beginning, but they built it up. They always put the camera in the same spot.
Yeah. There we go. Have the fucking, so then every time you're like, if this situation isn't happening, then we're fine.
Pretty much.
One time, it was like, nope.
It was at the end of the movie. Yeah. Where she where basically she's just full on possessed, and then like fuck, like when
I saw that shit come in. But it was like
you were still set up somehow. It was weird. I think
it's just because it kept building up, but it didn't build up to that point until that last fucking part.
Basically, because like they hint that shit's gonna hit the fan when they start with like her hovering over the bed for like they throw that scene in like every like what 10-15 minutes or so where her hovering over the bed like all night and then going back to bed. Then there's one particular time where she's not hovering over the bed, but then the fucking thing grabs her and yanks her out of bed and drags her in the hallway. You're like, oh, like that whole time you're thinking, wait, I thought she was supposed to be hovering over the bed, but she's the one getting dragged out. So that's when you're like, oh shit, like it's kind of getting real. But then they like calm it down for like another 20 minutes until like the very end.
Yeah.
Where like it happens again and you're like, oh, it's gonna stop, whatever. And you're not really thinking about the end of the movie, but then this dude gets thrown back into the room like dead, and then this bitch is like freaking out and jumps at the camera. I was like,
that shit.
Or that shit.
There's another one.
The most powerful shit about that was when it ended. It didn't have any credits. It
just cut. I was like, this is disturbing.
Is this real?
That's what got me.
I don't remember what movie it was, but another one that did it very well is they would always do delayed jump scares. Where I remember, like, you'd see a scene happening, because you can always tell when a jump scare is going to, because it's like, it builds up the moment, you know what I mean? But, like, there was a movie where, like, it would build up the scene, and then the moment where the jump scare is going to happen, nothing would happen. and then like 5 seconds later, it happens after the situation's already resolved.
Insidious did that.
Was it Insidious?
I feel like all newer horror movies do that, just because we're so built up on that shit by now.
Because there was one movie that did it really good.
Every horror movie uses this cliche where they have the music and the tension build up. And like it'll get higher and higher, and then it'll stop and go completely silent.
Yeah, and you're like,
say somebody's walking up to a door, it builds up, they grab the door, it goes silent, they open it, nothing's there. They turn around, boom, the monster's right.
Oh no, there was one that did it like they would open the door, nothing's there, and then they would turn around, nothing's there, and then like the camera would like pan, and then something's there. Yeah. It was something like that.
That's something you gotta do now.
There was one movies. Yeah, it was like really delayed. The newest was it Insidious one?
Insidious would feel like because they would do that and then play that loud ass broken violin.
Yeah, that shit was like that shit would fuck with me.
Oh yeah,
oh my
you see him put his head down? That's how you
know. The thing that fucks with me is like, is it the broken violin where it sounds like they're hitting like the wrong notes?
Yeah,
it's like high.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not even that shit. What fucks with me is like, remember when the first title screen when Insidious comes up?
Oh man,
it's playing that.
Yeah, in the theaters too. It was
Insidious 1. Like real talk, Insidious 1 fucked me up more when I saw it at home and I was able to go back and rewatch scenes.
Oh yeah,
because when I saw it in the theaters, obviously you miss shit because you're in the theater.
Yeah,
and it's like. You miss it because it's like it's so incognito.
Yeah.
So like the scene where the mom meets the ghost boy.
Yeah, she's walking through the kitchen.
When she's walking through the kitchen, the little boy is literally
looking at the fucking wall.
Oh my god!
I actually saw him. Like we saw it in the theater.
Like
I was like, she didn't see that nigga, bro. Like, that nigga's right
in
there.
In the theater, I missed it.
I didn't a couple things in that shit.
I didn't catch him till he was outside. Then I was like, oh shit, it's a little ghost boy. Like, but then when I got home and I saw it, I was like, this nigga's I lost my shit.
Yeah, that's
like I had to rewind it like 4 times. I paused it and was like, "Is that his hat? That's this nigga's hat. That's him." Like
I had to tell. I think I was with my uncle and 2 other bitches, and we was watching that shit. I was like, "Y'all see that nigga?" And nobody else saw him. I was like,
"Because it's so incognito." And the whole movie does that.
You don't expect it.
Like in the scene where they're all around the table in the middle of the fucking day, bright ass room talking, and then the mom out of nowhere just like.
Oh yeah,
and then the camera and this nigga's face is just like, oh my god!
And it did that damn music again.
Yup.
Shit. In my brain, I was like, I was done. Like
that fucking.
And then that movie, I'll admit, Insidious started a new trope because the Insidious, it like tied in using unscary scores to make the movie scarier. Yeah. Like even the scene where like it ruined it for me overall.
Climbing through the window, whatever the fuck that shit's
called.
Tiptoe through the window.
Yeah, that one. Something like that. But no, like fucking the scene where you finally see the monster in purgatory
like
or whatever.
Hell dungeon thing.
Yeah, like that scene, it ruined it because it was like, well, now it's not scary. I've seen it. But like, then at the same time, that moment hit hard because it was playing like some fucking childhood melody shit.
There is nothing scarier than children.
Yeah, and it was like you're not playing fucking screeching violins. You're not playing the deep piano. You're playing some shit that niggas went around the fucking merry-go-round with.
Because that's supposed to be a safe space.
Yeah,
and now it's
it
not.
Ruined it. And it's it just like I saw that scene, I couldn't breathe. Then after that scene, I was like, okay, it's over. He's not scary no more because I've seen him now. But that initial scene, I
remember when you first see him in the corner of the room,
and he's like, oh shit.
They play that fucked up ass music again. Because what they do when you see him, it's just black and then his face. And you're just like, fuck. Like,
oh my god.
I had to pull my head away. I was like, fuck no. I'm not ready for that.
Or like the other scene where the woman is asleep and you hear like noises and shit, and you're like, okay, obviously it's gonna be a jump scare.
Yeah.
It's gonna build up. Then the moment this bitch got out the bed, this nigga's pacing outside her window, and then just poof through the wall.
Yeah,
this nigga just in the room, and it don't even do like a camera cut, because they do that in other movies, but it'll do like a quick cut, where it's like it'll look that way and look that way, and then he's there. It didn't even do that.
No,
this nigga was just it's like they just
inside.
They were like, look, we're gonna cut the bullshit.
It was like they cut frames out.
Here.
It was like, boop, boop.
You think you're safe? He's right here now.
He's right here.
That shit fucked me up when that nigga was standing over the baby.
Right.
In the fucking room.
That was actually disturbing. That was disturbing to me.
Because he was just standing there, bro. He didn't do shit.
One did so much shit right.
Oh yeah.
Then the rest of them just fucked up.
They just fell
because they kept copycatting the first movie.
Yeah.
They kept redoing the same scenes or versions of the scene, and it was like, well, you can only do that like twice,
so
maybe.
many
and
times.
then I'm done.
Where it's like.
They pretty much copy and pasted the scene at the table where she was looking at him and then what's his face was behind her head.
Exactly. They basically copy and pasted it, and it was like it does still hit you kind of because a jump scare is a jump scare.
Yeah.
But once you realize it, you're like, oh,
that was the same shit.
That was the same.
I will say, you won't watch it.
Oh nope. I already know what you're talking about.
You already know what I'm talking about. Have you seen the new Annabelle?
Nope.
Nah.
Okay, so
I mean
the movies,
the one that's called Annabelle,
the newest one, yeah.
I watched that shit. It was garbage.
Okay, compared to the other ones, it was the best one because the other ones were just ass. Like before this new one.
I mean, The Conjuring and all that shit.
Yeah.
I didn't even fuck with The Conjuring, bro. That
so
shit
like
was
the thing I did like about this new one, and I'm not gonna lie to you, this shit. There's two scenes I was talking about that fucked me the fuck up. One. Where this bitch opens the back and you see all them Bible verses on the, you remember in the little closet, you're like, look, bitch, don't fuck with that shit. Like, that's the first thing you think is like they put Bible verses all like imagine this whole room just filled with like scripture, basically. Yeah. I'm like, leave it alone. But the two parts that fucked me up is the one where it sits on the doll or the little. You think the doll's face is gonna change, but it's actually the girl's face that turns into a demon.
Oh yeah.
That they fuck you up there because they set it up to be the doll, and you're like, well, the doll's gonna change. The girl turns around and it's like a nasty ass son of. Like I'm getting chills thinking about it. I'm just like shit. And then you know the scene where the little girl backs up into the dark and then starts transforming and breaks the priest's hands off.
Yeah.
Those are the two scenes where I'm like, you guys did it right. That shit fucked me up. Like,
because like
me up.
I mean,
with horror movies, there's two ways to get it right. Either one, immense power, or two, innocence.
Yeah.
If you play on either of those two things, it's terrifying. Annabelle played on immense power. Again, you walk in a room and this demon is so powerful. I had to literally tape Bibles to the wall.
Come on.
That's how powerful this nigga is.
Like I would say like only that section of the movie where it's fucking with him was good to me. Everything else was just ass. Because then it starts possessing scarecrows and shit. You're like, okay.
Yeah, but like I just all the movies that niggas was talking about, it was scary as fuck. I just watched them shits and was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Like I said,
but
those were just comparative.
I was pleasantly surprised by that motherfucking Life. I know we all watched
Oh
that
my god,
shit.
he hasn't watched because he doesn't like tendrils. He doesn't like tendrils and tentacles and stuff.
I can't do invertebrates.
He doesn't like invertebrates.
Pass out?
Yeah,
I can't do anything.
It's a phobia
that moves like it doesn't have a backbone.
You can't do invertebrates.
Like if we go to
that shit though, and squid and shit.
Like, dude, I'm not gonna lie. That movie fucked me up.
I don't know where it came from. Like, I can't do them. Like, I'll see it, and then like I'll get lightheaded.
That shit.
I know what you mean, because like octopuses and squid are like the most disgusting shit.
They're nasty.
Like that shit just
like what? Like it's.
But I could look at them like
I can't even do that. Like we were at Korean barbecue and somebody ordered. You were with me. Curtis was there, and Curtis had ordered like squid or some shit. It got to the table. I had to eat like this.
Yeah, he had to like turn. He had to like move the table. Like
it's like
this movie would probably kill your ass.
No, Life was too much. Like we saw Life in theaters. That shit, man.
That shit was.
I was so done.
Fire. I was like, man.
I would have just jumped out in space and died. Like,
like this nigga. But that nigga probably jump out there and eat your ass. Like
that nigga would jump out there and just go eat my body.
There. Like and then go back to the shit.
And then go because that's literally what happened at one point. It was like, oh, this thing needs oxygen. We just gonna send it out in space and kill it. They put it in space and it just sat on the side of the ship and they were like, it's holding its breath. It doesn't need air. It was just
there was one point where somebody had to go out there to fix something or some shit. She goes out there in the suit. It finds her ass, starts fucking with her shit. And it squeezes her tank so hard that her fucking suit starts filling with water and she drowns.
Yeah.
That shit was
this
fire.
thing, And like, I want to say it all started because they was fucking with this nigga, but I think that thing was just evil to begin with.
The only scene I saw was the previews where he breaks the arm.
That's literally what kicks it off.
When I saw that, I was like, I can't watch this.
That's literally essentially what kicks it off, because like they find some shit, they put in a little container, and they're like, oh shit, it's alive.
And he keeps fucking shocking
they're like shocking it, and they're like, and fucking Ryan Reynolds' character genuinely was like, are you sure you should do that? What if it don't like it? And then the dude was like, it's only like 20 volts of electricity. It's like getting pinched. It doesn't even hurt. Right. And then at that moment, it broke the stick.
And then it breaks his
arm. So like,
a
lot of people were like, it was just defending itself. It was mad because they was fucking with it. But I was like, nah, the way this thing killed people, that thing was just evil.
You didn't even count the fact that nigga Ryan Reynolds went in there and really tried to kill it with the fucking flamethrower.
Well, it was already attacking them at that point, though.
It attacked the rat. It didn't attack.
And the rat didn't even do anything.
The rat like sniveled at him, or he did a little.
The rat sniveled at it because the thing got hostile. The rat was minding its own business, and then the thing was like,
just in there rubbing.
And then the rat was like,
the rat like kind of sneezed or some shit.
Yeah, that's all the rat did was like sneeze, and then the thing just jumped. So the rat got scared. And then it ate the rat.
It disintegrated that motherfucker.
It like moved. It like morphed around it and just absorbed it.
I told myself I would try to like watch a scene.
No, don't do it, dude. It will fuck with you.
Shit in the world.
Like I can't do.
Like my biggest fear is like deep ocean. So I always watch deep ocean shit, but it don't get as scary as I imagine it to be. Oh. Like when they shoot deep ocean movies. Like they had,
because it's never the ocean that's the problem. You know what I mean?
It's exactly what's down there.
It's what's in. Yeah, like that's the problem.
Aside from the fact that it's completely dark, like we wouldn't be able to see shit. But when they shoot movies and shit, it's always light as fuck. So I'm like, all right, this is bullshit.
Well, no, the thing that because like I don't have that condition where I'm like scared of water. Obviously, if I was in that situation, I'd be scared. But like. The thing for me that pulls me out of it is the fact that it's never the ocean that's the problem. Like, yeah, they'll be like they'll be in a submarine and maybe they're like, oh, it's depressurizing and it's gonna crush. But then they do something real quick and they're like, yeah, that gives us like 12 more hours, we're fine. But then there's some like big ass fish and that's the problem. Yeah. And it's like, granted, maybe there is some big ass fish that can bite us in half and kill us, but that's not what would make me scared as a viewer. What would make me scared as a viewer is these niggas fucking like going crazy because there's 20 minutes of oxygen left. Because their fucking submarine is about to crush itself under fucking 30,000 atmospheres of pressure. That would like fuck me up more. You know what I mean?
You mean the anticipation?
Yeah, the anticipation of just undeniable
that shit don't
death.
Fuck with me.
Like that would terrify me because water is like it's the one. Water and space are two things where it's like if you're stranded. There's nothing you can do,
man. That
like I mean, not even talking about the pressure that's like, down there.
You're literally like
fucking. Because
like,
your head gonna explode if you fucking try to come back to the goddamn surface.
And you gotta do it at the right speed, the right time.
If you're like stuck out somewhere in the desert or something, there's shit you could do to survive. Where it's like the situation ain't as dire as it sounds. Don't get me wrong, not trying to say it's easy, but in comparison, it's easy. Literally, if you are in space and you are not tethered to that ship, I could go like that. And you will float off infinitely.
Because, like I said,
infinitely, you are just fucked.
The reason it's like that is because we're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Does it not make sense?
Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's fucking terrifying to me.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I watched that movie with Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up.
Like,
Gravity.
Yeah. The scariest part of that movie to me was when she was out. Yeah, when she was just fucking floating. I was like, it's over.
And she was flipping.
Yeah, I was like,
and she was flipping.
It's over. It's fucking over. I was like,
that shit fucks with me too. It don't fuck with me as much as Deep Ocean.
The fucking dude that dies in the beginning of the movie. That's how he dies. Because he's like just floating off and he's like, look, I'm gonna save your life.
That shit happened in life too.
Yeah.
To the bitch.
This nigga was literally like, look, this is the only way we can do this. Bye. I'm dead now because I'm floating off infinite.
Honestly, floated.
I'm just floating
infinitely.
Like, I'm never gonna stop.
And she was in there screaming and shit.
It just sounds like this creature was so volatile.
It was
like fucking crazy.
Like because it was like,
and then apparently this motherfucker lands on Earth at the end.
Yeah, because their theory is like what is his name? Jake Gyllenhaal? Was it him?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
His theory is like, okay, there's 2 escape pods. You get in that one, go to Earth. I'm gonna get in this one and just like
take it,
float off to nowhere.
Yeah.
This thing is gone forever. So then he gets it in the ship with him, but then the thing starts like fucking expanding and latching all over the ship, and then it controls his hand to pilot it to Earth.
His hand.
Yeah, it gripped his hand.
You can't see what's going on. You just see him struggling to fight it, and it's like it's controlling his arm, so it's moving the fucking shuttle. The fucking two shuttles hit each other.
Yeah, and then they just start veering off, and it's like, shit, which one's which?
They set it up. You think it's fucking her going to Earth. She's like, I got a message for Earth. We coming down. We got fucked. And then they reveal that shit.
The ship like lands, and then when the hatch pops open, it's this nigga Jake Gyllenhaal fucking like deformed.
It don't even fucking pop open. That shit lands. The fucking
I thought it popped open.
Nah, them niggas come up and open the shit.
Oh yeah. The dudes come and open it.
Yeah, they land in like a foreign country or some shit.
Like
these niggas are
Tibet.
on boats, and the shit lands. They go up to it. They look in the window. It's this nigga with the shit coming out of his head and shit.
Yeah, like all you could see is like part of his face, shit. And the thing was just
and the
all
shit is
like
everywhere.
And
this nigga looks and he's like, no. Yeah,
he's trying to tell him like, don't open this shit.
Them niggas open the shit. It cuts to this fucking big ass sky shot, and it just pans away, and you see other boats coming up to the escape.
Yeah, and it's like, that's the end of Earth.
And it had like the most dire
because the only way
soundtrack, the most dire score you would ever
The only way they're killing this thing is if they just like infinitely nuked it. Like no questions, no bullets, no nothing. Just right now, nuke it. Everybody launch their nukes at once. Maybe that might kill it.
But this nigga gonna be too powerful.
Yep.
He gonna absorb everything that's over there.
He needs the same things to survive that a human does, but he can survive off of them longer.
Oh, okay.
So like humans, we can hold our breath underwater, and theoretically, if it wasn't like the depth cold, we could hold our breath in space, but not indefinitely. 30 seconds, a minute at most, depending on the level of pressurization. This thing was able to hold its breath for like 5-10 minutes or something like that in space. And the harsh cold wasn't infinitely... It was hurting it, but not like us where it's like seconds we're dead. Yeah. That thing could survive in space. I think they said like 5 hours or some shit they estimated.
So, I don't even think they estimated.
Like they were like...
They were just like...
They were like...
it could survive, but it'll die eventually.
So they were
I'm sorry, I would have stayed in the ship. Like,
so that was their plan. Their plan was like, we're just gonna wait it out. We're just gonna let it die. But then the thing starts fucking with the ship and breaks the ship. So they're like, well, shit. Now we have to go outside to fix it.
And fix whatever the fuck.
And then it gets back in the ship.
And then the problem is, and then they were gonna keep it out with the fucking shuttles. Remember, they were gonna fucking every time it goes through a fucking, it would try to climb in through the goddamn the boosters or whatever. Mm-hmm. They would turn on the fucking
the booster,
to try to keep it out.
Yeah, but then I think they started running out of fuel, right?
Yep. They started running out of fuel, and then they were like, "We keep this shit up. We gonna go into the Earth's atmosphere."
Yeah, because they were floating. Yeah, they were floating around the Earth like that. But every time they would hit their boosters, it would slightly change their angle to so like go towards Earth. So they were like, "We can't keep doing that because we're just gonna take it to Earth."
Yeah, or it was the opposite. But I think it wasn't even that why they stopped it. The bitch was like, we have to let this nigga back in because... Oh, it was because they were going to Earth. And they were like, top priority is like we don't bring this motherfucker to Earth.
Yeah. And I'll admit, they got courageous as fuck. They was like, look, we all just gotta die. Yeah. Like at one point, they were like, look, if it means not taking this thing to Earth, all of us just gotta die.
We just pretty much go into infinite space.
Yeah, we just go to infinite space and not bring it with us. But that thing was fucking determined.
That nigga was...
Like, it was determined. And then the black dude was stupid. Like, because he fed it, basically. He let it live off of its leg. Because, again, the thing needed, like, sustenance to survive. Like, it needed it.
That shit was sitting there sucking on that nigga's leg.
Sucking his leg.
This nigga was trying to have some deep-ass fucking conversation or some shit.
And then right at the end,
he was fucking paralyzed from the waist down.
No, but...
So we don't know if he knew
it was kind of like 50-50.
But the thing is, he was giving the speech like he knew he was gonna die.
Like he knew he was currently dying or something.
I'm dying, let me give you this speech.
Yeah, and then they rip open his like pant leg, and it's just like...
That shit is just
like, it's like gripping his leg, just sucking his blood.
Bruh.
And it was like... And then I think it runs, right? As soon as they like reveal it, it like scurries off or something.
No, they try to... This bitch tried to electrical shock that shit with the goddamn... Because they were giving him the fucking chest pump defibrillator? Whatever the fuck... Yeah, the defibrillator. And then this bitch was like, back up! And she defibrillated this nigga. This nigga popped up, had like 20 tentacles. He had a demon face. It was ridiculous, bro.
Yeah,
like, this nigga done evolved. Like,
that's what they should have called this fucking movie. evolve. Like, because like every time you saw this thing, it looked different.
Pretty much.
First, it was like a little blob. Then it was like a blob with a tendril. Then it was like a little baby manta ray. Then it was like an octopus half manta ray. Like, and then it was like a fucking eagle with a manta ray with a fucking alien face. Like, I swear, it, like every time you saw it,
pretty
it
mad
looked
they
different.
called it Life because the fucking, you know that movie with Eddie Murphy and fucking Martin Lawrence called Life.
Oh yeah, the prison movie, right? Yeah, the prison movie.
That shit was fucking hilarious, and I was like, y'all niggas watch that Life, and they be like, or I'd be talking about the fucking I'll be talking about the Eddie Murphy movie.
Oh,
and
they'll
like,
think this one.
Yeah, they'll think this one. I'm like, nah, nigga, the fucking y'all niggas tripping, like, cause that movie is fucking hilarious. Like,
Life is great.
Bernie Mac was in that shit.
You gonna eat your cornbread?
That movie is fucking great.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever watch that movie.
Yeah, dude, don't.
Nigga,
like, honestly, real talk, don't.
You
Don't.
be
fucked.
Do not like that shit. Like,
fucked me up.
Yeah, dude, that shit. I was like, I can't handle this level of invertebrate. Like, I can't handle this shit.
I can't do that. Like,
damn,
I can't do that shit.
Like,
and why is it that every
up.
movie that has an invertebrate in it, the motherfuckers are smart and sentient? Have you ever seen an octopus walk on land?
No, actually.
It's a real thing. Look it up.
I mean, I know they've got like on beaches. I know they've done.
No, they can they cycle their tendrils on land, and they can be out there for a little bit.
That shit is disgusting.
And yeah, I'm gonna be that old crazy homeless dude with a sign, be like, "I told you so." When they come and kill us all.
That shit is.
Did you see that fucking video that was in like Japan or some shit? And there's this pink blob, and these niggas are just fucking with it.
Right?
What the
I haven't
fuck
seen
that
that one,
was.
but I've seen videos of like there be some weird ass life form,
Stop it.
and these niggas just be like,
just
hold
fucking with
up. And I'm like, why are you touching it?
Stop it.
Just fucking
It's
with
gonna
that
grow
shit.
like 30
Just
tendrils.
fucking with it.
Crazy fucking shit. And these niggas, like, they fucking with this pink blob. They get it to flip over, and it ain't nothing but like this asshole looking shit. It ain't nothing but a big ass hole. These niggas pour soda in it, and the shit pops. Like this shit, like weird juices, bro. They don't know what the fuck it is. It just pops. It gets everywhere, bro.
I hope they kill it.
I was like, nigga, you could be like, you don't even know what that is. You could be a fucking alien by tomorrow. Like,
They poured soda in that bitch.
it was just fucking with it because it's like, bro, this shit looks like some shit out of
dude,
like Rick and Morty or something. Like
that shit terrifies me. Like,
exactly, that's what's down there, bro. We
Like-
haven't even discovered everything that's down there, bro.
That's
I'm
why
telling you,
you
bro.
don't
Like,
go down
don't
there.
make
Fucking that
sense.
Megalodon shit used to fuck with me.
Yeah,
I
I'm
still
a
want to
firm-
watch that movie.
don't.
But-
It's garbage.
The Meg?
Oh,
you
Meg
hurt your
is
soul.
fucking it's
As a matter of
garbage.
fact, I fell asleep.
It's so garbage.
I fell
It's
asleep.
so garbage.
I was asleep. I woke
So
up
look,
like
I gotta
was like, what?
spoil it. I gotta
Alright.
spoil it real quick. So, the movie, obviously, the Meg reveals itself, right? So they spend half the movie fighting it, right? Then they kill it, right? Tell me why they kill it, and then a bigger one comes and eats the dead little one,
Wow.
Right.
and they're like, "There's a bigger one." And then the rest of the movie is now them trying to fight the bigger one.
Wow.
I was like, what the fuck?
He's not lying.
Like,
Wow.
that movie was so bad.
It was,
fuck with me.
like I said,
Like-
I fell asleep and woke up so many times. I'm like, what happened?
The
bro?
beginning of
Like,
the movie,
Yeah, it just sounds ridiculous.
that was
That's
actually
fucking
the
haters.
prime example I was given when I was talking about earlier about like deep sea movies. The beginning of the movie is actually dope because the movie starts off with like they go like super deep underwater, and they go deeper than like anybody's ever gone ever. And the Meg attacks their ship or their sub, and then it gets like stuck underwater. So the first like 30-40 minutes of the movie is a rescue mission.
Yeah.
That aspect was actually
That shit
really
sounds
fucking
fun.
good.
Yeah.
Like, it was good. And they even started throwing in a tiny bit of dynamics of like the crew going. It was a 3-man crew, so it wasn't that deep. And then obviously that's not what the movie was about, so they never fleshed it out. But like, it got a little deep because like, when the crew is down there at first, before the shit happens, there's like the Asian dude, this white fat dude, and this girl, and the two dudes are like super goofy and jokey, and they're like gamers and shit, and the girl is like, guys, you know what I mean? So like, but like big sister kind of sort of, not like irritated, but like big sister sort of speak. So there was already like an interesting family dynamic between that crew. Then when they get down there, The Asian dude, he gets like stabbed like through the stomach, and he's like writing like a sad letter to his wife, and he's like, "Give this to my wife," and it kind of starts to get to a slightly deeper dynamic of like, damn, this crew's going through it down there. But then that just ends because Jason Statham just
he shows up,
easily goes down there, fights off the Meg, rescues them, and easily gets back up. And then they're like, "Yeah, there was a megalodon down there. We should probably kill it."
Yeah, they tried to build him up by like showing up. There's only one man who could possibly. Catch
like
it's always weird putting an action movie star in like a natural environment.
Yeah, because they have to make a reason as to why he has to be there, and the reason he was there is because there was a previous rescue mission that was deeper than like anybody's ever gone, and he was the one that rescued them.
Of course.
Yeah, so they were like, the only man in the world who could rescue them is him. So then they get him, yeah, and of course he has to be the like, I'm not doing it. I'm done with that life.
It's over.
Yeah, they had to do that cliche, but then he quickly gets over that. I admit I liked that part because that shit irritates me. I'm like, just fucking do it. It's the movie. We know you're going to do it.
It didn't take him long. Yeah.
So it literally was like a 3-minute scene, and then they get him to do it.
Makes
so
sense.
it was like, okay, fine. And then I'll even admit, like, the beginning part of fighting the Meg was actually not bad. It was like almost... It reminded me of Deep Blue Sea. I'll give you that. A little bit. That part I liked. Campy, not very well written, but fun, so to speak. It was when they killed it, and then another megalodon comes, and they're like, "It's a bigger
That's
one."
actually when
when I was like, "I'm done with this."
That's when I started falling asleep. Actually,
because I was like, "I'm fucking done with this movie."
But on some real shit though,
I think the
that
megalodon
shit could be
real.
down there.
I think it's down there.
That shit is down there. They already have recordings of giant fucking squid and one each squid fucking them bitches. So it has to be down there. I know that logic isn't very sound, but
nah, that shit fucks with me, bro. That shit fucks with me.
That's why we can't go down there.
My thing is,
we're trying to discover shit.
My thing
we would survive if we just leave shit alone.
Everything gets like 60% more gross when you put water in it.
Yes.
Like, have you seen, like, not even stuff that's that deep. Have you actually looked at a starfish? That thing is fucking disgusting.
It's nasty.
Like, that shit, you turn it over.
It's legs, tentacles, and an asshole with teeth.
Exactly.
Like, that's fucking gross.
Yeah, most of that shit down there
is just disgusting.
Because of the evolution of being in water, it has developed nasty looking.
Come on, man.
It's disgusting.
I was watching that shit on Netflix called...
Throw some water on some food, see how long it takes for it to mold.
Like,
that shit.
Dude, I was watching that shit on Netflix, Planet Earth, but like the second part,
Did you watch
all
Deep
about
Blue?
Yeah, where it's all about the water.
Watch that when I was at home. I was like, I ain't watching that.
There was a part where it showed a plant underwater, plant that was eaten. It was like a little, like, it had like a little body. No. It was like a body with like a hole in the middle, and it had like 5 little like extensions.
Oh,
and the extensions were like,
yeah. It was like feeding it. Like,
it was
every angle just
feeding it.
It was like stuffing its whole hand in its mouth.
It was literally putting the whole hand in its mouth and then pull it. I was like, that's.
It's
fucking
like where you get the ideas for these aliens and shit, bro.
What?
You get that shit
the
from
ocean.
That's where they get that shit.
Fucking ocean.
You want to make some shit look nasty as fuck?
That's all you gotta do.
Go to the ocean.
Add some water.
Go to the deep ocean.
Like, that shit looks gross.
I can't do that.
I was gonna tell you. Back to that other argument where horror movies doing unexpected shit.
Mm-hmm.
In 47 Meters Down, did you watch that shit?
No.
It's a fucking shark movie. Some bitches go on like vacation or some shit, and they go like shark watching. So they're in the cage.
First of all, why the fuck would you watch sharks? Aside from like, all right, go continue. Sorry.
Because people do it. They get on this rickety ass fucking boat, rickety ass fucking cage.
According to National Geographic, sharks are actually really nice.
Not these motherfucking sharks. These motherfuckers. But the craziest part about that shit is they get in the cage. They got the fucking scuba gear and shit on. They get in the fucking cage. The cage, the line fucking breaks or whatever.
So
or the crane breaks. They drop. Already scary to me. They fucking drop, bro. They get to the bottom, and of course my biggest gripe was there was light down there. It wouldn't be no fucking light. That shit would have been dark as fuck.
There'd be light at 47 meters.
I mean,
barely.
That shit.
No, there'd be a good amount. There's light up till like 1,500 meters. There's light.
Shit.
Yeah, there's now again, I mean, it's not well lit, but there's light enough that your eyes could eventually adapt and see.
Yeah,
I'm saying this shit was fucking lit, but
that's crazy.
At least it was dark enough.
Yeah.
So they trapped down there. They have fucking walkie-talkies in the fucking
about 1,000 meters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can go about 1,000 meters of light.
That shit's cold.
Right.
Yeah, so 47 meters, there'd be plenty of light. Not plenty, but a good amount of light.
All right.
Yeah.
I can believe that.
And that's 3,200 feet roughly, so 3,000 feet of light.
Damn.
That's a lot of. That's
still too
deep.
far.
I'm saying that's how deep light is.
Yeah.
So at 47 meters, you'd have a good amount of light. Like you'd have a decent amount of light.
All right, I give you that.
Yeah. Yeah, I do a lot of I look into the ocean a lot. Like,
nigga more afraid to be doing the math.
I'm like an unconscious of it's not a phobia. I'm just afraid what if one day that shit evolves and it could breathe air and it just come out.
I see that shit happen.
Yeah, motherfuckers walk on land.
Because I mean, look at actual evolution. They say some shit from the water crawled up on Earth and then evolved into life.
Yep.
So who's to say that shit ain't in progress right now?
That's why I fuck with Cloverfield. Because that fucking monster literally just came out the ocean one day and started fucking shit up.
See, I'm gonna let you have that because they came out with the Cloverfield paradox and it just ruined the whole thing.
That shit, I don't know what the fuck.
He said,
I don't know.
He said,
I don't know what the fuck they was doing with that bullshit. I'm like, why are you gonna try to explain where it came from?
Yeah, that movie basically
was good enough that it
shit
just
came from another dimension.
Yeah, another dimension. What are you doing?
It ruined it.
And then it wasn't even. Here's the thing: they were on the ship and weird shit started happening because the dimensions were merging or whatever.
Yeah.
But nothing happened to the bitch. Like this nigga, he sat up. He leaned his arm on a wall. His arm went inside the fucking wall. This nigga pulled his arm out. He had no fucking rest of his arm. He just had a fucking stub. Then the arm came out and was moving around and fucking.
Or the fucking worms just poofed inside the guy's body.
Oh yeah, he exploded. He just died.
He was just exploded into worms.
I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what does this have to do with? It was like. They wanted to make this movie, but they needed people to watch it, and they were like, we should connect it to something.
Yeah.
To where people would want to watch it.
Yeah.
And they just connected it to Cloverfield.
Yeah.
They didn't need to do that.
They really didn't.
And then there was that other movie did the same shit.
Cloverfield 28, yeah.
Yeah,
because that one actually genuinely was not a Cloverfield movie. At the end of development, they decided to make it a Cloverfield movie.
Oh, that's terrible.
It genuinely was just a kidnapping movie.
Then I was like...
And then at the end, they were like, yeah, let's do it.
That shit had aliens with guns in it and shit.
Yeah.
So what the fuck you connected? It's just stupid. It's just retarded.
Oh my god.
That shit was stupid. Like, why the fuck you gonna build it up the whole movie not to go outside? You actually go outside, ain't nothing but aliens.
Well, because they probably figured by connecting it at the end of the day, it'd get more sales or something, reviews.
Honestly,
you're right, and it did, because I never would have watched that shit. I was like, the fuck is this?
Honestly, I would have liked the movie more if she would have went outside and realized all the shit was a lie.
Yeah.
That would have been better to me.
Probably.
Like, it would have been the ending I expected, because that was what I was expecting. But
because the nigga just holding the bitch down there trying to rape the bitch or whatever.
Exactly. He just
that's
trying
actually
to rape the
like
bitch.
More scary
exactly.
than
that means he actually had a crazy element to him.
Yeah.
But once you find out the aliens were real, you're like, oh, well, he wasn't that crazy.
On top of that, doesn't the bitch kill aliens and drive off in a truck? That shit was garbage, bro.
I don't know if she kills them, but she fights them off a little bit and then drives off.
She fights them off enough to get away.
Yeah, enough to get away.
They had fucking big ass guns and was blowing shit up and shit. Mm-hmm. That was
garbage.
Terrible. That was terrible.
Like,
that was terrible.